All right. So at the time of this recording, it is officially what, June 25th. The Mets are currently tied with it's the last game against the Cubs. And this is not going to be one of those episodes where we talk about stats, what stuck out to us. This is going to be more of what the fuck is going on with the Mets. We've been talking about, Ronnie, you and I, we've been talking about how much we do not like this team and it's not fun. They're killing baseball. I think it's fair to say now that any fan that is optimistic that maybe they turn it around, if you're still optimistic, then send me name, number. I need to talk to you about some positive vibes that you got on with, your sports realm. The Mets are a joke. And Ronnie, let's just start with this. Which stat is the most, I mean, like, where do we even begin? Do you want to talk about Dansby? What was it? Dansby Swanson, whatever his name is. He's a Met killer. Swanson, 15 RBIs in 24 hours against the Mets. Do you want to talk about the Mets' 6 errors in game 2 of the doubleheader yesterday? Do we want to talk about 50 runs given up in 5 games? Like, I don't know where to begin because we're a joke.
That's it. Like that's all you got.
I mean, I got more, but I mean, I could just keep going. It's a laundry list. I
Nah,
keep going and
it's
going, but
it's
I'm tired of
embarrassing,
hearing
bro.
myself.
It's embarrassing. We're being outscored. I think we're on a what is it, 5 game losing streak at the moment.
Something like
Um,
that.
we got
We're
Kodai
12 games
Senga
under
back.
500. I think the last time we
We
recorded, we were about 7 or 8.
yeah, yeah, just about right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kodai Senga came back, trash.
Trash.
Francisco Lindor came back, trash. Uh, okay, so let's
Yeah,
talk
there's a
about one of
lot.
the let's talk about the error. It started with Francisco Lindor. His first play back off the IL.
Mm-hmm.
The dude fucking laughs.
Okay.
Bro, you're 34 and 45. You finished, you lost, we lost the first game. You commit an error on the very first play coming off the IL,
Yep.
and you laugh it off.
Yep. And since
I
he's our leader, our captain, I don't mean to cut you off real quick, but since he's our leader, or so we thought it was. I'll explain after your thought. But he draws an error, and then the team follows his lead, and they commit another 5 errors, and they're all
if
infield.
if I'm all right, so at my job, I'm assistant manager of the store, right? I'm
Okay.
my cousin's right hand, the store manager's right hand. If for whatever reason I have to take off, let's say just for example, I'm on paternal leave, right? My wife just gave birth 4 months ago, 3 months I take paternal leave, right? If if my job decides to do that for me, bro, the store is falling apart, or my cousin can't do it alone. He needs me back. Um, my job, my specific role in the store is like warehouse storage receiving. If that's going to shit and I come back and I make a huge pallet fall, something that we receive, and I laugh, do you think that my employees would take me seriously?
No, they would not. They would feel like it's okay. Yeah, they would feel like it was kind of okay that their fuck ups weren't, like they could let it slide or let it, like it's gonna be all right. 'Cause at least you're
And
back and you fucked
I'm
up.
I'm just the assistant manager. Yeah, I do manage the team. I do manage a department, but that's just me being assistant manager plus storage, receiving, whatever. Bro, this guy is supposed to be the leader. He was considered to be captain by the fucking fans. And you're gonna
Hmm.
laugh at an error that you committed on the very first play coming off the IL.
Gone in
Now,
two,
for
3 months.
everybody criticizing me or you or anybody else criticizing us for criticizing Francisco Lindor and giving him a break, what do you guys have to say now? I want to know what reason, what excuse you guys have
It's
to
hard.
allow this guy's fucking back. I don't give a shit what kind of contract Juan Soto got. He got it because he deserved it. We're talking about Francisco Lindor, who held the Mets hostage from signing other players, waiting for this guy to give us a response. This guy has not played up to the stardom that he was expected to play at. And
Hmm.
then you have someone coming in and it looks like he's hating, gets hurt, comes back and does this bullshit.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. Um, I haven't felt this angry, so it's coming unnatural to me right now because I've had so many things going on with my life. But when I saw that highlight on Instagram that this dude just laughed off the air after coming back, it just boils my blood because I played baseball. I didn't play for a long time, but I was a huge fan and I played second base. Bro, I think I only committed one error my whole time playing baseball because I was just so good defensively and that's what I focused on a lot. My bat sacrifice, I
Yeah.
sacrificed my bat just to be in the lineup to play second base. Not because I
Yeah.
wanted to play that, not because I just wanted to play for that reason, but I just because I wanted to play.
Yeah.
Um so to me, that hurts as a Mets fan. It hurts as a
Yeah.
baseball fan. Like your team is on fire. Your team is going to shit right now.
Yeah.
There's no
On
true
fire for
leader
the
there.
wrong reasons, as in dumpster fire.
Exactly, exactly. And you're coming back off the aisle and laughing at an error you just committed, bro. And it just
Yeah, of course. It
steamroll from
just.
there. It's a domino effect because then what happened? Five more errors in the infield.
Yep.
Marcus Simeon is now going to the IL. He committed
No.
two errors.
And he's a Gold
Um,
Glove.
and he's a Gold Glover. And
Hmm.
what's it called? What?
Mark Vientos were the other two errors, but we all know he's not a baseball player at this point.
Well, he's not even a
And
first baseman. So I
no,
mean, at this point, like I don't give a shit about Mark Vientos. I don't even know why he continues to be in the line. I don't even know why he's still on the team. Um,
true.
the Mets are being loyal for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm just at this point like,
Yeah.
what?
It's a
Who's
disgrace.
being held accountable here?
No one. No one. I mean, Stearns finally spoke, and we're gonna get to him for what he said because we need to talk about what he said. And Cohen is still hiding in a cave that I'm convinced. I'm convinced he is so deep inside of a cave somewhere that is not in this country because it is really hard. You know, the last time we heard from Cohen was a tweet back in April saying that Bo Bichette had a really big hit in the middle of April. Like, wow, Bo Bichette in the middle of April, what a big hit. You know, keep the positive vibes going when I'm pretty sure I think that was at a time when we were losing a lot of games, right? I think that that losing streak was in May. I don't remember anymore. We're losing too much for me to even remember. But I completely agree with you. Lindor coming back from injury and our so-called leader, by we you know, as us fans, even if, and you know me, and we've said it, not the biggest Lindor guy, but I would believe he's our leader, right? I
Mm-hmm.
believe Cohen in January said that there is no captain or no leader on the not leader, like there's
Right.
no
Correct.
captain on this
Correct.
team. Like there can't be a captain because you know we have so much talent around. I think that messed Lindor up. It's
Mm.
speculation, but something
No.
tells me that gave Lindor the wrong vibes, and he just kind of is acting like an a-hole. And again, it's all speculation. This is just me, you know, putting my tinfoil hat on because we're gonna find out more about this team when you know people start leaving and you know, so eventually, you know, it just feels like this team eventually is gonna just completely take a new level. When we say rock bottom, the Mets continue to amaze us and find a new rock bottom. And I think the newest low is we find out, or you know, there's rats in the locker room that spill us the tea on what the hell's going on. I'm starting to believe that Lindor and Soto do have a really nasty relationship, but there's something there because it's too much of a coincidence that when Lindor is on the roster or he's active, Soto's not available. Call it injury, call it whatever you want to say. But what really I don't understand is today's game. Why is Soto in the lineup and Lindor has a rest day that Mendoza announced was going to be a thing, that Lindor was going to rest? Why are you resting a day after you just came back? He had 3 months of recovery from an injury. You're gonna have a day off the day you come back. That's just, especially for someone like Lindor, that
Yeah.
does not make any sense to me. That to me, Ronnie, that's soft. Like you're getting paid a lot of money. You should not be taking rest days after you just a day after you just came back from injury. You should be able to play. He's not a you know a Francisco Alvarez. He's not a we're not talking about someone that's like, a bench player and that could potentially start. Like, no, he's like a face. And I don't know. It's just really weird. I definitely believe Soto and Lindor, there's something going on there. And we're going to find out soon enough what's going on with that. But the 6 ever game, we're going to remember that for sure. That's this game, Ronnie, I think symbolizes not only the 2026 Mets, but it symbolizes the dark age of Cohen's ownership with this team.
Yeah.
I saw fans saying something about the Wilpons, and I just want to clarify something because Ronnie, you will agree with me when I say this. People saying that this is the Wilpons all over again, I disagree because the Wilpons were cheap. Cohen spends the money. We can't say that Cohen doesn't try or is cheap. We can't say that. Now, how the team is run, and the way the team is functioning, that's debatable. But Cohen spends the money. We can't criticize him for that.
Yeah.
Him caring, we can criticize because of his silence. But the Wilpons just didn't care. And they weren't spending, and they were just giving out bad contracts. So if people are going to compare us to the Wilpons, I disagree. The team's success, yeah, there is comparisons. But the Wilpons and Cohen are not the same. Okay? I just want to say that. Would you agree with me with that assessment?
Oh
This is
yeah.
not the Wilpons. Cohen spends the money. Now, his silence is frustrating, and it's disrespectful to the Met fans. He needs to say something. I'm not saying that he needs to say, him coming out and saying, guys, you know what? I screwed this up. I'm sorry. That's not going to fix the dumpster fire of what the hell is going on with the Mets. It's not going to automatically make us a contending, or win games. I'm not saying that. But when you come out as saying that you're a Mets fan, you understand the pain, you want to spend, I'm going to promise you guys a championship. And then when things go bad and you're just silent and you're just waiting to say something positive at this point, you're not one of us. I'm sorry, but you're not one of us. You can't claim yourself a Mets fan, and then when you see it going embarrassingly bad, we're making headlines for the wrong reasons, and you go silent. That's not right. I'm sorry, but that's betrayal on the Met fans because you're treating us like idiots. That we win 3 or 4 games, or we turn around. Now you want to come out and speak. You want to talk when the times are good. It doesn't work that way, man. It really doesn't. It's weak, in my opinion. It's really weak. You're just scared to face the noise and scared to know that you spent money on the wrong person, who's David Stearns. I don't know if you disagree or agree with my thoughts on that whole situation with Cohen and fans blaming him and comparing it to the Wilpons, but I saw that from a lot of fans on Twitter and Instagram, and I just completely disagree with that. That's kind of disrespectful to Cohen, to a certain extent.
I think every Mets fans will be on board with what you just said, including the other Cohen, Gary Cohen. He spoke and said something. He mentioned the word disbelief in his speech or whatever he was saying about this team.
Yeah.
It's in the okay. This is what he said. When what's it called? The errors were happening and everything like that. This was the top of the 9th inning, and
Mark
the Mets had
Bianco's just
committed
committed an error.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, and I quote, I mean, what do you say at this point? I mean, this team is in the depths of despair, can't get starting pitchers to hold the other team at bay, struggling with their offense, and now the defense falls apart. 6 infield errors, unprecedented.
Yeah.
Now, he's an announcer, and he's not going to rip a new one to the potential new owner of SNY, right? He's also not the type of person that's going to call out directly the GM or the owner of the team. He'll say things indirectly, and that's as any announcer should, right? You don't want them to get in trouble, especially this booth. They're very popular. There's a lot of haters, and when there's a lot of haters, you're doing something right. So this is the best booth
Sure.
in baseball.
Yeah.
What's it called? He's taking shots at David Stearns. He's taking shots at Steve Cohen.
And the fans
100%.
too. And the fans
Yeah.
too. I'm gonna say that after, or you
Yeah.
can say it after, but continue running.
No, yeah. I mean, funny. I'm gonna get to that.
Mhm.
But he's taking shots indirectly, and that just says a lot. That's already confirming that nobody's being held accountable. Just what we've been saying since we started this podcast. Um, Last night, uh, damn, I already forgot his name. Who's our closer?
Devin
Wells.
Williams.
My God, bro, this is how bad it's gotten.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you.
Williams.
I forgot our first baseman a couple days. It was Polanco. I forgot that guy existed. But continue.
Speaking of first baseman, the Mets were chanting Pete Alonso while Williams was on the mound.
You've noticed that, right?
And
That's
remember
crazy.
who Pete Alonso hit the home run to advance
That was
the
off
to
Devin
the end.
Williams.
Devin Williams. Yeah, funny enough, and I think the fans did that shit on purpose.
You really think
Uh,
so?
1,000%. Why else would they be chanting Pete Alonso? I mean, it came after Mark Viento's.
That's what
If
I was
it's
gonna say.
it came after his era. Now, if it wasn't because of that, then bro, you can't write up a better movie script than that.
You can't. And real quick, Ronnie, I'll give my quick thought on that. I feel bad for Devin Williams because I feel like for the most part season he's actually improved and he's kind of moving on
Right.
from a disaster. I feel like the Mets reacted and chanted Pete Alonso because of Mark Viento's errors.
Mhm.
But given that Williams is on the mound, it's also ironic. The Mets are chant. Listen,
Yes,
when we're
exactly.
pissed, we're ruthless, and we
Yeah,
will voice our
100%.
frustration.
100%.
I just feel bad for Devin Williams standing there and having to hear the Met fans frustrated and having him relive the worst moment of his career, hands down.
Of course. Yeah.
It is
Well,
so
that's exactly what I thought.
unbelievable what happened last night.
Yeah.
Continue, Ronnie.
No.
It's just incredible.
Those were my exact thoughts when I woke up this morning and I opened up Instagram. It was the first thing besides the errors.
Yeah.
The Mets fans were chanting Pete Alonso and Williams was on the mound, and I was like, bro, this can't
Incredible.
be happening right now. This cannot be happening. And yeah, I mean, I know for a fact David Stern is watching all of this.
Is he?
We finally heard from him. I mean,
We can only assume.
there's no way you cannot be in your bubble that much when you know this is your job, when you know you should be watching the team that you just built, that the owner gave you the confidence and the trust to
Yeah.
build this team,
Yeah.
and you're not going to be paying attention. Now, with that being said, there's only one of two things: you're
Mhm.
paying attention and you're being naive, or you're paying attention and you're ignoring it. Because if you're not paying attention, bro, then this is on Steve Cohen.
I want to say naive.
Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning naive, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Ronnie. So Stearns did speak, and I don't know what stuck out to you, Ronnie, but this stuck out to me. Okay, because he said a whole lot of nothing, except for one thing that caught my attention, and this is where I think it's just naive, and it got me thinking why Mendoza hasn't been fired when he should be fired like 20 times a season.
Mhm.
And I quote, I think our staff and our coaches are working incredibly hard every day to get these guys going. Now, you laugh. I did this. That was my same reaction. I laughed because Mendoza he's been on a hot seat by, I guess, every single talk show, every single Mets hot takes on every podcast, every talk show, every broadcast. We have legends in the booth mentioning and questioning Mendoza every single day with how the guys are on the field preparing and decisions and no game plan. We're on the hot seat on ESPN when we talk about the Mets and Passan talking about fire sale and who's on the market. Clearly, Mendoza's on the hot seat, but he doesn't seem to be a hot seat inside the office because Stearns has said that we're going to stick to this guy. And he also said that he's pleased with the process he's seen from the Mets coaching staff also. Ronnie, may I tell you, 50 runs in 5 games, 6 infield errors, and Lindor was one of them. Outside of Juan Soto, okay, Sengai was a rookie candidate for like rookie of the year at one point in his career, not too long ago. Okay, he was incredible. Freddie Peralta was an all-star last year and one of the best pitchers in the NL. He's so good that when we traded for him, we were convinced we have one of the best, if not the best, rotations in baseball. And also McLean adding on to that he might be like our third or fourth best option, which is incredible.
Mhm.
They've all regressed where we're thinking of selling Peralta for low because he's not a competent pitcher. And by the way, Ron, speaking of Peralta, he just gave up 3 runs. We're losing 3-0 to the Cubs. And he's been pulled off. So right on
Ha!
cue. Right on cue.
Wow. What inning?
6th inning. So
Oh, bro.
not looking good for the Mets. We're going to continue this losing streak. We might lose another 12 in a row. Our pitching has gone to shit. Our starting pitchers, they're not competent. And Shamanaya, look at his progression. Just the pitching alone, what makes you think that the coaching staff has given him signs to be pleased with the production and the progression of being a legit Cy Young or a better pitcher than they were yesterday? They've gotten worse as their time with the Mets have continued. They're not showing signs of like improvement. They really are not showing signs of improvement at all. Okay. He made moves last year in our bullpen. The downfall of last year was because we were aggressive in our bullpen, and those bullpen arms that we got in have completely derailed, and we didn't focus on starting pitching last year. That was our downfall. We didn't have enough good starting pitchers. And clearly, our hitters are not hitting outside of Juan Soto. Bo Bichette is wildly just inconsistent, okay? And then our defense. Our defense is a joke because we have players that are not in position. Ronnie, real quick, Stearns made moves. The reason why he didn't sign Pete Alonso, or one of the reasons why he didn't sign Pete Alonso, was because of defense and that he felt like he got the right guys for defense. So why would you sign Bo Bichette and put him at a position he never played before? Why would you move Mark Vientos to first base? Why would you not address the third base that we needed? I guess he threw in his chips on Brett Beatty, and he's not been that guy. It's a complete disaster and a complete joke, and it all falls on Stearns. And so for him to say that he's pleased is because he does not want to fire Mendoza, Ronnie. And I'm going to tell you right now, and you could agree or disagree with me, there's a discussion now. If he fires Mendoza, I am sure as hell he knows that once he's gone, there's no one else to blame but you. Like, we're already blaming Mendoza. We're blaming Stearns. But we're also blaming a lot of the coaching staff, right? Because Stearns is not out there, I don't know if he's setting up the lineups. I really don't know. It's all speculation. I feel like Stearns is in charge of the batting order, but that's just my opinion. But
Okay.
if you fire the coaching staff and you say they're the reason why the Mets are underperforming because Stearns clearly believes in these guys still for whatever reason when the fans don't, no one else is going to blame, no one's going to blame the coaching staff anymore. Everyone's looking at Stearns, and you're expecting him to get fired at that point. And he does not want to deal with that. I may be wrong on this. I think Stearns' time in Milwaukee, I don't think he ever fired anybody. And we're seeing it now with the Mets. He's not firing anybody. And it's clear. It's very clear. People need to get fired. And he's just not the guy for it. And I think he's soft. And not firing Mendoza or doing something about it. And he is so wrong, and he just won't admit it. So he's just naive. If he's paying attention, he's naive about it. He doesn't want to accept the fact that he failed and that he completely fucked this one up and that he's wrong about a lot of things. And Pete Alonso just happens to be number one on the list because he is exactly what, how can I say this, Ronnie? The whole Pete Alonso situation, because we keep bringing it up, is exactly how we feel. You let the guy we love walk out the franchise when he wanted to be a Met for life, and we don't get a lot of Met for life players. David Wright was probably the last one, right? We don't get that a lot. And someone special walked away. And I'm not saying that he's going to change. I'm not saying if Pete Alonso was here, we're in the playoffs. But you let someone like that walk out, and everything after has just gone to shit. And you're wasting Juan Soto's time. And that's all on Stearns. And that's why Mendoza has not gotten fired yet. And if you fire him now, Ronnie, I'm sorry, last thought. If you fire Mendoza now, it's a joke. Because then you'll say, well, how come you didn't do this a month ago or 2 months ago when it was obvious? When the fans are right and the management is wrong, that's a problem. The fans shouldn't be right 100% of the time. We really shouldn't. I'm sorry, but we really shouldn't. There's a reason why they get paid millions to do this job and not us. So we shouldn't be right about a lot of these things, but it seems like the fans are right. It seems like you and I, every time we come on and we say, like when we said the season's over weeks ago, everyone right now is concluding the season's over. And we're like, well, they showed you, the coach showed you, they weren't fired. It's
Okay,
just, it's a mess,
so
Ron.
I've been blaming David Stern since the beginning, particularly because of not re-signing Pete Alonso and
You
something
did.
about his defense, right?
You did.
Well, look at
That
this
was one
stat.
of the reasons.
Yeah, um, it was one of the reasons. It still is, and it's my biggest reason, or at least the biggest reason why I think he's a failure um, at the position that he's holding. Um, Pete Alonso with Baltimore Orioles, 479 total innings playing at first base. Guess how
Every day.
many errors he's got? How
One?
many errors?
One or two?
Two. Mark Vientos has
Yeah,
only
two
played
last night.
140. He's only played a third of that, 144 innings. And guess how many errors he's got?
I want to say seven.
Bro, no. Three.
Okay,
It
damn.
does feel
It
like
feels like
seven,
seven, but he's at three. Wow, and a
but
third,
he's
a
got
third of Pete
three
Alonso's
and only
production.
exactly. That says a lot, bro. Like you didn't sign a guy because you were concerned about his defense and because he was reaching old age. Meanwhile, he's playing for a different team, maybe what 200 miles away, and the guy is still hitting. He's still playing like he's 25, and you're trying to experiment with different players playing that position. And look what's happening.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a disgrace. It's a
I
disgrace.
look. There's there's one thing I did want to mention though when I was going on that rant. When I started talking about the defense from last night's game.
Yeah,
I don't know if you remember last year. This is going to be speculation, but the Yankees were on the hot seat for a while because they were committing errors left and right.
I remember
And
this.
excuse me, the other NY team, the AL NY team, they were committing errors left and right throughout the season after making the World Series the year before.
Yeah,
And it looked like they were doing that intentionally. And some people were saying like they have to be investigated because it looks like some people are betting and they're
yeah,
just losing these games on purpose.
yeah.
Last night felt like one of those. It's I find it hard to believe that a group of professionals were committing these types of errors yesterday. When Francisco Lindor committed that error, um, I'm gonna get into a little technicalities here.
Yeah.
As an infielder, you crouch, you wait for the ball to hit your glove, and you stop it with your hand, and then you make the transfer. It
Yeah.
looks like he was making the transfer before the glove was even in it, the ball was in his glove, and that almost looked like he did that intentionally because it was
Okay.
very routinely done. Marcus Simeon making that error, the dropping that ball, it almost looked like he pulled his glove away before the ball dropped.
Yeah, like
Um,
miscalculated and he just, yeah, he didn't try to
Mark
reach.
Vientos, the same thing with his error. It looked like it was calculated. It looked like it was intentional. Now that's speculation. Um, Nothing is gonna come of that. I don't think anybody's gonna take a look into that unless it keeps happening. But in any case, it still looks bad.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
I have nothing to add on. I think we're beating a dead horse.
Yeah.
Um, Mets fans are making themselves heard finally. I the page that we follow, NYM News, keeps saying to boycott the Mets. It's not. I don't. I mean,
Would you boycott the
it.
Mets if tickets were $20 a day?
Bro. Sometimes people just want to get out of regular life and go have some fun. And City Field is one of those places. Unfortunately, that's why I used to like going to City Field a lot. Not only to watch my team play, but there's a lot of things to do and it's fun,
Yeah.
especially being with other Mets fans because we're rowdy as hell. And
But the Met fans,
um,
I mean, the Met team right now is not fun.
no, it's not. But bro, we can be down 5, 6 runs and we're
That's
there
true.
just
That's
going
true.
wild, screaming for no reason. But I think the fan base, the Knicks winning the championship does not help this team at all
No.
because now the pressure is going to be on.
Yeah.
If the Knicks were able to figure it out, why can't the Mets? Um,
I agree.
so I think is The Mets fans, they have to keep voicing their concerns and keep being loud so that ownership can do something about it. I kind of, not me, in my opinion, I would love for Steve Cohen to break this team apart. Just get rid of everyone. I don't care what it
Do
is
it.
that you do, but I at the end of the season, I don't want to see Mendoza nor Stearns.
I
And
don't
he
think they're
can be
staying.
hiding.
They're not
He can
staying.
be hiding because he's probably trying to calculate when is the right time and who to bring in, because it's going to be a lot of work too for him to do. Um,
I'm thinking I'm trade deadline. I'm thinking All-Star break. If you don't do it by
mm,
All-Star break, you wasted our time. We wasted a season. You wasted our time.
yeah, I
Even
mean
a
the
fire
season's
at this
already
point.
done. The season's already done. The
Yeah, no, it's
Phillies,
it's it's dead.
the
It's
Braves, the
dead.
Braves are running away with the division. The Marlins are a game and a half back of a wild card spot.
We're losing
Um,
to wild card teams, so we're dead. Like we're dead fish at this point. We're dead. By the
I
way,
mean, I've
Eric
always
Wagaman, 2-run home run. We're down 3-2.
okay. Who's that
Yeah.
now?
Eric Wagaman. That's probably like our fifth best hitter, believe it or not, or fourth best hitter.
Um,
We
in
lost
other
five in a
news,
row. We might lose six in a row by the time this episode's done. And the next episode, we might have double digits because we're gonna play the Phillies and we're gonna play the Blue Jays right after. So we might hit the double digit mark again, losing streak. Do you fire Mendoza then? I mean, what's the point? What's the point? It
nah, they're
makes no
just
sense
gonna
at this
come out
point.
and say these teams are good. They got the better of us. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, no, yeah, the
Nah,
same shit. And then the I don't know. That's when coaches. That's what drives me crazy when a coach says I don't know. It's like, come on, buddy.
we
You
did
you
get
get paid. You get paid to know. Just owe up to it. I
we
didn't
got
prepare
some
those
good
guys enough.
news.
That's it.
We got some good news. Um, if it
For Lucius
helps.
Lane?
Oh, I don't know about that. He might not
Oh,
play today. He might not
USA.
play. Yeah. No, no. I mean, I can't wait for that game. I'm gonna be tired tomorrow. I've been tired all week, but
Same. I'm
um,
watching USA. What are you gonna
what's it
say?
called? David Peterson.
Oh yeah,
He went to the team that they're playing against. Now, would it be funny if he comes in and strikes out the side in order?
I'll laugh. I said this. I said this in the chat, and Met fans will definitely agree with me. I said there's like these three stages for every Met season when it's just becoming a disappointment. You get angry,
Yeah.
like you angry losing streak. We were angry. I've yelled on this channel already. You were angry. You dressed in funeral colors. We're angry. And now the reason why I'm not reacting so much because it's just sad. I feel like I just feel disappointment and grief, and I'm just like, this is so like a waste of time, and it's just so disappointing. And then you just can't help but laugh. You're gonna laugh at everything after, like Peterson striking out. That is hilarious. And you know what, Ronnie? Sprout or Spro, I forgot his name already. The one we traded away
Brandon
to get
Sproat.
Peralta.
Yeah.
Guess what he did? He struck out like 9 people. He's pitched 6 innings. He had one hell of a start. His ERA is over 6. Like he's not good, but he had one hell of a start while the Mets are just allowing 50 runs. Like, hey, remember that guy that was actually what promising? He had a good outing. Like, of course, to the Milwaukee Brewers, of course.
Yeah.
Ronnie, real quick, I'll wrap it up episode with this. The Kid Pena of the I guess that this week is Kid Pena. What's the most embarrassing thing with the Mets? You know what's embarrassing, Ronnie? When the Cubs hit a 3-run home run and the stadium is loud because there's Cub fans, more Cub fans than Met fans at this point, and the Cubs are just kicking our ass. And then the camera cuts to the Norwegian fans that took over the stadium, and they're doing like a snake line around the section where the center line is, and they're having a good ass time, and they have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like the Mets are in hell, but you wouldn't know it seeing Norway fans. They're just having a time of their life. Everyone's having a good time at City Field except for the fucking Mets. That's a que pena. And of course, Mr. and Mrs. Met doing the role, having a good ass time with the Norway fans when the Mets are just completely shitting the bed and making our lives miserable. That's a que pena moment of the week for the Mets, in my opinion. I don't know if you could top that, Ronnie, but that to me was hilarious. That's why I say you laugh. Once you get past being sad and frustrated with the team, you just laugh because you what else can you do? Like what else can the Mets do for you? You just gotta laugh at the fucking dumb shit that happens with this team, and that was one of them. Shout out to the Norway fans, by the way. They're awesome. I hung up the Scotland fans this past Monday, Ronnie. They're
That
fucking
looked
awesome. They're probably gonna
awesome.
be out of the World Cup, unfortunately, but they were awesome. I was drunk. They're a good time, man. They're awesome. They're all about
You
good vibes.
you
Awesome
weren't
people.
you weren't the only Colombian or wearing a Colombian jersey at
No,
the
there
with
was
Scotland fans. There was a lot, and there was one in particular that I saw on Instagram that took a guaro, an
yeah,
aguardiente, and just
yeah.
started giving it to random Scottish
I
people.
I wanted to do that, but I had to hold the bottle the whole time, and I didn't want to hold an empty bottle or hold anything with like police presence there. And it was also
Mm,
really hot, and I was not gonna kill a whole bottle with other people because I already knew beer and whiskey would be involved. So I passed. But damn, man, I should have given. People deserve Huaro. Just call it again, man. They're awesome. They're awesome.
yeah, that looked a lot of fun.
It was awesome. They're fun, but they're gonna be out of the World Cup, unfortunately. So that being said, right now the Mets are still down 3-2, and we're probably gonna be
Yeah.
on a losing streak of 6 by the time this episode is done. Ronnie, any final thoughts?
No. Yeah, Juan Soto
We
just batted
suck.
with the bases loaded, and yeah,
Nothing, right? Yeah, of course,
nothing happens.
of course.
Final thoughts? Nah, I mean, it's just the same old crap, beating a dead horse at this point.
Worst
I'm
season with
over it.
Cohen.
I think the Knicks, the energy right now, like the last 2 months, have been Knicks and World Cup. So it's like
Whatever.
I got something to look forward to, but I just wish that our teams didn't suck. You know, um,
Unfortunately, unfortunately.
my
Well,
I guess my final thoughts would be we suck.
yeah. You're putting it lightly. You're putting it very
That's
lightly and gentle. You're putting it very lightly and gentle. We are horrible. It's a laughing stock at this point.
There's nothing
Um,
good to say. I mean,
no,
an opposing player scored 15, brought in 15 runs
an
in
ex
less than
Brave,
24
may I
hours.
say?
I mean, yeah, exactly. An ex Brave. Uh,
Well,
six
how's it
errors.
go? How's it go, Ronnie? You could take him out of the Braves, but you can't take the Braves out of
Braves.
him. It works with the fucking Mets. It's always against the Mets. So look at
um,
Freeman,
but
Chipper Jones.
he still kills the Mets when the Dodgers play
Yeah, yeah.
the Mets. Yeah, no, I mean
Can't pitch him.
it's terrible. I just don't like that nobody's being held accountable. Again, beating a dead horse.
Yep, yep,
There's nothing positive out of this other than that they traded David Peterson. Um, that's the first move, the first domino to fall, because we had high hopes with him, and he was just terrible.
yeah.
And I don't know if it was the bullpen games. I don't know if it was his roster move, like the his role changed. Um, he looked lifeless out there every time he was on the mound. It looked like he didn't want to be out there. And we got a first baseman, a natural first baseman. I think he also plays third base.
Go figure.
And number 13, the Cubs number 13 prospect.
It's like a second or
So
third round pick a few years ago. I think I don't know. I didn't look too much. I didn't do a lot of research on that because it's hard to watch the Mets right now or care. We're trying, but damn.
it's just became one of those seasons in like the early 2010s before they
Yeah.
made the World Series in 2015 where I just completely zoned out of baseball because I was so focused on the Jets. The Jets were actually having pretty good seasons at the time,
Yep.
until the end of the season where they just lost the final games. Um, yeah, those are my final thoughts. We suck.
Yeah. Ugh. We suck, and this is getting harder. It gets harder every week, to the point where we can't evaluate a series because, I mean, can you blame us for not watching? I'm sorry. Is there Met fans that even watch a full game these days? Like, we're recording during the Mets game, and I know we're gonna lose.
I'll be a fan. I'm a fan, and you may call me a fake fan. No, because I can answer more questions than you can about the Mets history, especially the last 20 seasons. It's just there's nothing fun to watch when you're watching your team
We're
go
fed
out
up.
there. Like,
We're fed
bro,
up.
when it's been 30 years since the Mets, 40 years, I'm sorry,
40.
since the Mets won anything, and it's been 10 years since they made the World Series, 11 years, and that's the second one in my lifetime that I was that I was able to watch. And the first one, I was only 8 years old, so that's when I became officially a fan. Um, nah, I mean,
It's a
I'm not an
disaster.
expert. I'm not an MLB analyst or an expert. I'm just a fan talking shit. It's just um,
Oh
when
man,
you have homegrown players and you give them up.
those hurt. I don't know. Those
We
hurt.
we traded for Syndergaard in that R.A. Dickey trade and Travis Darnold. I didn't like Travis, but I did love Syndergaard, and we had Michael Conforto. Why didn't those players stay a Met? Why? I
Which
don't
ones?
care. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if Syndergaard was not the type of pitcher that he was. But why didn't you keep him? Why didn't you keep Conforto? Why didn't you keep the Grom? Why didn't you resign him? I get that he didn't
We
play
don't
first
keep
season, but
Strawberry. We don't keep Strawberry. We don't keep Seaver. We don't keep the Grom. We don't keep Pete Alonso.
I
No,
don't
I
even think we
agree.
kept Nolan Ryan. I don't think we kept him
Nimmo.
either. Um,
Like,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's unfortunate.
yeah, we didn't keep Nolan Ryan, and he was supposed to be. He went from team to team, but yeah, I don't understand this franchise.
Yeah.
This franchise was created because when the Dodgers and the Giants went out west, there was only one New York team, and somebody said the Shea, the founder, was like, "Oh no, we need another team. Let's combine the colors that left and Metropolitans."
Boom.
Bro, that first season was terrible,
Like any
and
expansion team is.
yeah, but they got their shit together 5 years later. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into the history, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just
It's very unfortunate.
it sucks to be a Mets fan. That's
Yeah.
all.
I agree. We're in hell right now. But we're trying. We're trying and we're gonna keep doing this because we care. But the season's dead. And we've been saying this for a month. I'm glad the hopeful finally realized that now, so we could be in agreement that we need to get Stearns. I forgot his name. Stearns out of the building. With that being said, to the next time, Ronnie, please like, share, and subscribe. Um, I'm not saying I love GM because we are a joke, but till the next episode, we're gonna talk about Lindor Soto more because there's a story there, and we're gonna find out eventually that there is a story there. Just saying.
So
So
yeah,
till then, till next time. Peace out,
USA,
guys.
USA.
USA, USA.